Let me just, I'm going to type it out in the chat here. Jake spotted wolf. You can find them on most of the socials, Facebook and Instagram for sure. Powerful voice. We've been out here on the ground together for months now. Comrades still having, you know, it's traumatic to be brutalized by the police. It's triggering. They're still here. I was just mentioning them. They're still here. They're being tended to by an EMT that's on the ground with us here.
Here we are. What does that say about you? What does that say about your choices as human beings on this land? You kill yourselves more than you are ever harmed by the people that you hold badges and arms against. It is you that is a danger to your own selves, because what you are doing is horribly wrong, and you are collectively realizing it. However long it takes you, the world is watching. Your children are watching. Your future generations are watching, and they are not behind you. They are not beside you. You need to cross that line, and you need to join us, because none of us are joining you anymore. Recruitment rates are down. No one wants to stand by you like this. Not even you want to stand by yourselves like this. You walk away from each other. What you're doing is wrong. You owe it to this land, if you actually care about it, and to the people, if you actually care about them, to stop with this occupation that bolsters white supremacist violence. Do not fool yourselves for 1 second and think that you are not a part of it. You are entirely a part of this white supremacist violent state. At some point you will realize, and I hope it's not too late, I'm not happy about police suicide skyrocketing. I want you guys to put these weapons down and join us.
Who's next? So for those who may have just joined, we're curious what's going on here. We're live at the state capitol, St. Paul, so-called Minnesota. We've been here holding ceremony the past few days. We opened a ceremony again last night to honor the Dakota 38+2 with the intent of staying in ceremony for 38+2 days, honoring each one of those brave people that was hanged here, just down the road from here at Fort Snelling. We're standing on the 1805 treaty that was made with the Dakota Lakota people here, whose lands these are. We're in occupied Dakota Lakota territory here. We stayed overnight, many of us inside the large teepee that just came down in prayer. And about an hour and a half ago, the state troopers rushed in. They surrounded everybody. They blocked access from everywhere. Didn't allow anybody in. They kettled people. They've arrested a few, some violently. They've triggered a medical emergency with one of the people they brutalized, who's being tended to by one of our EMTs on the ground here. These people are terrorizing us here. They're terrorizing as their ancestors did for the last 100 years, terrorizing the indigenous people, taking away their rights, committing genocide. I know it may sound strong, but recognize that genocide is an energy, and many people are killed to this day. Indigenous women and children go missing, are found. Look at the grave sites that were dug up. It's easy to think that these grave sites that are just being found now, that's in the past, but it's not. It's happening today as well. It's just underground.
And you are continuing to escalate the situation by having your weapons out. You need to put your weapons away because we are not here to...
So we'll continue to hold space here. Continuing to keep eyes on our comrades that are remaining in ceremony.
Very sweet. Dog is very sweet.
Did you sign up for the holding ceremony with the ceremonial fire? They don't give a shit about that. Don't give a shit about that.
And you see we still have ceremony continues. These brave warriors here holding this space for this ceremony. Laughing, loving, remaining together in ceremony as they're surrounded by these evil spirits, this evil energy. This officer here can't even show his eyes. He's got that cap so far down. Is it because he knows what he's doing is wrong? He doesn't want to face us. He knows he's complicit with genocide. He knows he's violating the U.S. Constitution. Looks like you can't see much, just straight down.
Supreme law of the land. Do you know what that means? Did you read the Constitution, you guys?
It's like 5 pages. It is not long.
Worried about their Trump rally tomorrow so they can come here and celebrate. That's spirituality.
Helping, but they ordered that it must be taken down. It looks like right now water protectors are negotiating over there because
Why would they have them on way over here? There's nobody here. Who are you gonna beat up? The wind? Who are you gonna beat up? And again, let's remember people around Minneapolis. I don't know what's gonna happen here, but you know when you guys make that call, we answer it. We answer it. I could have snuck up on that guy really fast and right at that line and scared him. He probably would have hit me though because he's not used to the equipped to be having these. Isn't it ironic that you guys are enjoying Libby while you guys are threatening to beat up water protectors who are protecting that very water that is nourishing you right now? See? Oh, he's got a little cool thing up there, a little hat. I like that. But see, he's equipped with his pens. I don't know how many speeding tickets you're going to hand out today, which more you're accustomed to doing. I don't understand why they sent us the highway patrol here. They are used to honorably taking care of those highways and keeping them safe for the people. That's why they honorably decide to become state troopers. That's why they decide to become state troopers, is to protect and honorably those highways of Minnesota. Where are their webcams today? Where are their webcams today that the state of Minnesota taxpayers have provided? Where are they? They're not equipped to be out here. And again, as I've asked these state troopers, if you guys are all here, who's watching our highways? Not them anymore, not them. That's why they honorably took them jobs, to watch the highways. But they're not doing their honorable jobs that their spirit answered their call for today. Today they are probably had to dig really deep to find their issued Billy Goat club. And you can tell that the Minnesota State Troopers are not accustomed to having these clubs at all, because they don't even get the cool ones like the St. Paul, Minneapolis, or any other ones get. They don't got them cool ones. And I'll be honest to you, these state troopers probably even mentioned that. Geez, we don't even get the cool ones, we get these old beat up ones. These ones looks like they're from like the late 1970s. Just add them sticks to our sacred fire over there. That would be the best way to put that wood to use.
She's chosen to at this point, so if you'd like to do a data request, you want incident data later, I can definitely get that for you.
You have a card, so
I'll give it to you afterwards when we're done here, okay, sir?
Okay, what's going on here? Can you let me know what's going on here?
It's currently an open investigation. We'll get you some incident data as soon as we can.
What is the opening? It's opening. This is a piece of
An open investigation means that there's an open investigation into this event.
Was there any crime committed here? That's what I like to know. Is there any crime committed here other than the treason of you guys being on stolen land? I need to know. Explain this to me if though I was a 3-year-old. I need to know. Explain this to me if though I was a 3-year-old.
Can we have somebody out there get their names so we know
Their names. These are individuals that are being actively arrested.
Ramsey County is where they're
Sending them to Ramsey County, detaining them, hog tying them. This is totally preposterous. In St. Paul, Minnesota. Please, please come down here. Anybody down here, come down here to support. I mean, who's going down here? Our life is in jeopardy. I'm fearful for my life. I'm seeing all these guns, all these thugs, and everything of this nature. We don't know what's going to happen, but we know we did not see this during the incident that happened.
Love you, comrade. Love you,
Love you.
Love you.
Somebody's being carried off right now. They're zip tied. They don't look comfortable being carried off by 3 cops. A lot of solidarity from this crowd for the person who was arrested and carried off by cops.
Love you, comrade. And why don't you tell your buddy he was assaulted a veteran? How about that?
Looks like they're about to carry another person out of here
Tell him that.
in restraints.
A month of training. A month of training, y'all got. We love you. Love you. We're here for you. We love you. We love you.
Well, this guy's hat is
That regulation.
For those who are new, this is the Minnesota State Capitol.
Sleeping under there, sir.
Real sorry.
There are indigenous people here who are holding ceremony, and the ceremony is being actively dismantled and fought by Minnesota State Police. If you are able to come join us here at the Capitol and ensure to the best of our ability that no more people are harmed here by these cops, please do. We need you here. There is power in our numbers.
Look, what are you looking at?
I mean, I respect them for fucking keeping it.
It's a lot better than the other side. It's a lot better. It's a lot better than fighting for our land and our water.
Looks like there are some people being escorted by the cops as they come and pick up the remains of the camp that they were forced to abandon.
What's up? You. What's up, homie? Shoving veterans down and stuff. Thanks. We needed more trauma from you. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's what you did. That's what you did. Like, we need that shit from you. Do we? Yeah, look at me. Do we need that shit from you? We don't. And we haven't even talked about the real people you're impacting, not just us. And I'm only bringing up veterans because that's what you give a fuck about. Is your patriotism and your nationalism. You should be concerned about what you did over here behind us. The people that aren't fucking veterans. Just like you should be concerned about the people that aren't veterans in Afghanistan that we're leaving behind right now. But instead you're out here protecting this Roman bullshit. You don't even fucking know what this is. You're out here protecting it. Yeah, you're a chump. Don't look at me. That's what I think. Y'all disgust me. You stuck up on tired people. You stuck up on tired people in prayer. You saw the Warriors leave the tent. And you thought, oh, what a great time to not have to
See if we can get a different view.
We'll just wait for them to leave.
He said you're protecting this route.
I'm gonna go get my phone.
Over on this end, you can see the cops have got a pretty large paddy wagon that they have apparently loaded the arrested water protectors into. See if we can get a look at that, see how those conditions are doing over there. It's interesting to see people do their best to try to turn into statues. Some cops are better at it than others. You can see several water protectors loaded up in the back. I don't want to linger on them too much for the sake of their privacy. This vehicle has darkened windows, presumably so the cops can conduct their dirty business in secrecy. You can see the caution tape that the cops have put up around this entire perimeter surrounding the teepee where ceremony is being held. It looks like they put up new caution tape around these cars here. They're using them as anchor points. While we're here, for any new people who didn't hear me plug it earlier, if you want to support the organizers of this peaceful ceremony that is being violently suppressed right now, you're going to want to support Camp McGeezy. In particular, the best way to support them is by donating on Venmo at Taysha_Martineau. That's spelled TAYSHA_MARTINEAU. If you don't have monetary support to give, that's also fine. One of the most powerful things we have in this movement is people power, which is why we need people to be out here resisting this pipeline, standing against it, and letting all of these state officials who have so far ignored us as much as they possibly can know that we won't stand for this. We won't stand for a tar sands pipeline that destroys indigenous land in order to be built. It's disastrous in so many ways. And the fight against Line 3 is a fight for indigenous rights. It's a fight for climate justice. It's also the same fight that indigenous people on this land, on Turtle Island, as they call North America, have been waging for years. Hundreds of years, in fact, since 1492. Somebody asked for me to post the Venmo in the comments. I will do that right now.
Y'all know you're in violation of this supreme laws of these lands, yeah? Constitution that you swear to uphold. I know y'all look around and you see this and you know it's wrong. Deep down you know, that inner child, that true, pure spirit inside of you knows that this is wrong. You put that badge on, choose to step into this line of work, choose to step on the side of the oppressor. All of y'all are complicit in genocide in this moment. All of y'all are complicit with the colonizers that came here and wiped out 99% of the indigenous people of these lands. I know that's not what you thought you were doing when you put that badge on, but here you are, standing, compliant with orders telling you to violate treaty law, which is protected by the Constitution of the United States, Article 6 of the Constitution of the United States. You look quite young. It's like you couldn't be out here for very long. You could probably reach back into your memory and remember when you were a kid. Remember when you were playing with your siblings, with your friends, participating in sharing and spreading love, caring for people. And yet here you stand, holding that baton, marking yourself in this moment in history, siding with the Nazis, siding with the colonizers that came with their guns and their hatred and their disrespect of these lands and the people of here.
Defending a building against a Canadian corporation. I brought my 5-year-old here and he can't even go on the steps of the state capitol. How does that feel? Defending property. Do you feel like that sets a good example for our future generations to know that, these public establishments are barricaded? If you have children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, what would you be proud of? Letting them go on the state capitol steps or bringing them to a barricaded building? What message do you want to send? We spent 20 days in the ditch by the Mississippi River, and my kid couldn't even swim in the water because Enbridge, a Canadian corporation, has fracked out in the Mississippi River, 10 miles from the headwaters. That water goes through 10 states all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. And that's what you guys are defending. We're here standing for treaties. We're here standing for clean water. And y'all are defending a public building and a Canadian corporation. Is that the example you want to set for the future generations? Is that what you want the kids to see law enforcement as? People that protect buildings? People that deny them of clean drinking water? You represent Minnesota. We're the land of 10,000 lakes, not 10,000 tar sand pools. What future do you want to leave for the next 7 generations? Is this it? Holding a baton, handcuffs, zip ties, taser on the Capitol lawn for unarmed indigenous people and allies? Does that make you feel proud? Standing up for a Canadian corporation. It's not even about the U.S. That's what you're defending. You don't have to do this. You can make that choice.
You don't have to be here. You don't have to be here.
I know you pick up that badge, but you have the right to make that personal choice of what you fight for.
You don't have to be cherry on these traditions. You don't have to tell your children, if you have them or if you're planning to have them, that you sided with the genociders, that you stood on the side of the Nazis. That's what you're doing here. You're violating the very Constitution that you believe you're protecting, Article 6 of the Constitution. You're violating the Freedom of Religion Act of the 70s. These are black and white documents that exist in the buildings that you believe are rule supreme over these lands. We're not out here with hopes and dreams. We're not out here spreading lies. We're out here reminding you of the Constitution of the United States. And no matter what, if I get arrested today, if I get beaten by one of these sticks that you're holding, if I spend the night in jail, if I spend 30 days in jail, I'll sleep good knowing that I was standing on the side that was protecting the most vulnerable. And you have to sleep every night that you choose to put that uniform on and that badge, that you're siding with the oppressors. And these are generations and generations of oppressors that murder people, that take women, make them disappear, take children, sex traffic them, rape them. You're siding with them in this moment. And yes, you're following orders, I understand that. Yes, you have a job to do, I understand that. But you don't have to be here. You don't have to listen to these cis white men that tell you what to do. You think that maybe this person coming around to check on you cares for you. But the second that you step out of line in any way, even if it's to do the right thing, you know it'll come back on you. You know you won't be able to continue. You don't have to be here. There's a better way. There's a better way. And these people that you're oppressing, it's their ancestors that know how we can live here in harmony. We have to listen to them. And I can stand here with full integrity and tell you that I love you. I pray for you. I pray that this evil spirit that's cloaked you will be removed for the future, for your babies, for your grandbabies.
So important right now to be a part of this movement.
If y'all are watching at home, if y'all have wondered what this fight out here in the North Woods of so-called Minnesota is all about, it's about standing with the people of these lands, people that have suffered generation upon generation of genocide. Yes, we're fighting a pipeline. Yes, we're defending the water. Water is life. Water is everything. We all need water to survive. And we stand with the people of these lands at their request, at their call. So if you're at home now, I like that mask. Did you find that the other day?
No, I bought it on 38th Street.
Ah.
Did I find it the other day?
I lost my mask. Looked exactly like that. I lost it somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And there was just some guy throwing them I swear.
It's a nice one.
Nope.
With your shiny badges. Your batons say that loud and clear. You are willing to use that to hurt us. That is wrong. You should be praying with us for clean water.
You should be standing with us for clean water, not willing to beat us with those batons and oppress us further. I don't trust you guys no more. This is why. This is why you guys have a hard time pulling us over, because we can't trust you. Then if we don't follow your orders and we get pulled over because we're afraid of you, then we get shot and killed. That's the reality of the state right now. It's pathetic. It's depressing. This is why I told my kids they cannot be.
Nancy, they asked earlier for press. There are people that have been here for a year to sign the press. The president, the state troopers, exchanging any information for the state.
Is that new? It's still got the sticker on it. That baton of yours. He just put his hand over it, his right hand. Embarrassing. They got you. Use their power.
Somebody put Governor Tim Walz's number on the live feed here. Y'all supporting and watching right now, call him. Tell him this is not right.
You got a nice big dog there. Oh, my box is
Hey, Keisha.
so hot in my yard. Does anyone have an extra ponytail on them?
Here. Oh, you got it?
I'm in here for a second.
Do you need a ponytail holder? See, this is what I do in my spare time for art therapy.
Wait, no, just saw it.
These little bees. And you see these little bees on here? We're even protecting them. So, y'all might think we're rebels, but sometimes we go home and we do creative stuff. We go to college. We pray. We're good people. But we're treated like we're here 2 cars trouble. You see that little bee on there? He needs water too. He represents the living bees.
Yeah, Jordan, you're definitely right. There are officers here who have wet eyes, and you can tell it ain't sitting right with them, particularly that one down there. You can see it doesn't sit right with them, but they're just pawns in this game.
How does it feel know that you're protecting a Canadian corporation? I brought my 5-year-old to the Capitol here and he can't even go on the steps because you guys have it barricaded in. Is that what you want to represent Minnesota? It's a barricaded state capitol? You know, we just spent 20 days on the ditch by the Mississippi River and he couldn't even swim in that water because Enbridge has fracked out in it so many times. So I had to deny him the ability to swim in the water in the land of 10,000 lakes by the headwaters of the Mississippi River. And then we come up here to the state capitol and he's not even allowed to go on the steps because y'all have barricaded it. Because you're scared. You're cowards.
They are.
They're unarmed people. And y'all are here with batons, you're here with tasers, you're here with zip ties. Is that the future that you want? Do you have children? Do you have grandchildren? What about the next 7 generations, you know? We're the land of 10,000 lakes, not the land of 10,000 tar sands.
Fuck these white supremacists bastard.
Right. You're white supremacists.
Yeah, you got a lot of diversity there on the squad.
You guys are upholding a failed system that has done nothing but commit genocide on us. So there is no honor in your badges no more.
The labor, those white-bodied people to do that work, to redefine what space is and how to take it in a good way. This is how white people are taught to take up space. And I say that as a white body person. We're taught that we can take it by force, that we can take it by threat of violence. And that's work that we all got to do every day. The work of decolonialization, the mark that the colonizers left in the bodies and spirits of all people who live in this country. It marks all of us. And there's no more noble work than the work of decolonizing, killing the cop in our heads, killing the colonizer in our heads. I don't mean to get preachy about this stuff, but it's really important, you know, it's all connected. The death of the planet and the unwillingness of white-bodied people to recognize their somatic trauma and supremacy, it's all connected. But the good news is there's medicine for that. Prayer and ceremony, listening to the stories, hearing the oral histories of what this place was really like. It's medicine for that somatic supremacy. And maybe many of us experienced that in the uprisings over the last years. I began that work. And it's not a point of arrival, it's a practice. I'm gonna swing around this other side. I'm gonna flip this around for a second. Yeah, all of that, you know, we all have to be able to recognize how we're complicit in all of the negative things that we see in this world. We have to humble ourselves daily to recognize that. And I say that humbly as one who does my best every day to practice that. And I stumble every day, I stumble. And I'm met with love and care.
Proud participant in American Indian genocide. You got grandkids, right? Genocide. Did you know there's this crazy notion?
Nice shot here, Jason.
Caps out here.
What are they doing over there? Somebody go on the other side.
I know. I'm gonna. Mind if I join you?
Free country, man.
That's not the right answer. No, man. I'd love to have you with me.
Plus, I like to be where all the mainstream cameras are because they're going to capture different stuff.
Oh, you good? These guys got the easy job over here.
Well, to put the batons away.
Sweet.
In order to put the sticks away. I gotta get a new phone, man. This one keeps overheating on me even when it's not hot.
Dude, mine was overheating on the way up here too. I got a brand new phone.
Mine's pretty new. I guess not good enough. I should have read more reviews on it.
I don't see them here today, but we'll continue to answer that call. But yeah,
We were just talking about it.
and he probably is a very good man. Most of these guys probably are. But the fact remains is they work who they work for. They all work for Canada right now.
You don't have to kill. You don't have to kill yourself.
Look at them.
It's funny that you drink water and you're here.
Canada's paying you guys right now to drink that water. You're not even working for the United States people anymore. You're not even working for Minnesota.
You drink water, don't you?
You're working for Canada. You're committing international crimes right now. No foreign country can pay another country to monitor its people. But you guys are all working for Enbridge all week. You guys are working for Canada all week.
Ridiculous.
Go back to your highways. That's what LT took. You've been proudly serving them since 2016. The Minnesota people. The American people. Go. But right now you guys are all working for Canada. When you eat tonight, remember Canada made that for you. Don't thank the American people. Thank Canada. When you pay your bills with this check, thank Canada. They paid you. They paid you to be here.
Tobacco one for you.
Joe, I made this for you. Now some of you are going, what's going on now? They said they were, I don't even know. I don't think. And again, you stay. You want to occupy this place? Occupy it. Let Canada keep paying for these guys' salary. How many days did we sit on these streets of Minneapolis for our other relatives of the medicine wheel? How many days? How much prayers have we stayed in? And maybe this is where it needs to happen. Maybe we just need to take that over. I don't know.
Oh, the Indians are coming. How many? These are our supporters, our allies. So precious are their hearts to us to be here and stand with us. Because as you can see, these people here, everywhere, they hate me. I try to go in there and try to get some of my ceremonial items. They'll let everybody else. I was singled out. I believe that they have some sort of, I don't know how to say it, but they try to base fear into some of us, you know, by their actions and by their tactics. That's all I gotta say. I hope. Yeah. Well, you know, and that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be. They're gonna kill me. Look at they've tried it before. You see this right here? This is from police brutality. I turned away to walk away from the cop, and then with the baton, they hit me with the baton. That's police brutality, right here. They broke my leg. I wasn't able to walk for 6 months, and that's what they do to us. That's the tactics that they have. That's what's on that baton right there. And that's a reminder that they want us to try to be with.
When we say quit your job, it's because we want you to join humanity and stop killing us and stop killing yourselves. There are more than those options. And I hope that more and more people realize that and quit. So when we say quit your jobs, you hold that in your mind. Especially this cheeky one right here. When they get cheeky, it's because they're hiding from their own truth and reality. I hope that they look up those numbers, and I hope that if they feel shame, they don't run from it, they hold it and they learn from it. Thank you. Finish.
Thank you.
Thank you. Weinrich, huh? Which one of the Reich are you descended from?
Again, we are here, occupied Anishinaabe and Dakota Territory, so-called Minnesota State Capitol.
I'll leave the hat with you. I'll leave the hat with you.
Hundreds of state troopers came this morning to disrupt peaceful ceremony, to disrupt prayer. Water Protector had a medical crisis as a result of assault by the police is finally receiving attention. Armed state troopers continued to surround peaceful ceremony.
This is the highest concentration of troopers is right now. There are more back there. ACC. Oh, no, no, no. I'm not about not honoring treaties. They are against it, Terry. They are way against the pipeline. We have a drummer over where I was. Not long. It's probably 10 minutes before I saw you.
I was thought I'd see you.
Yeah, I was talking to some of the officers. They said it was pretty fine. Before that, though, the rest of it. Do you see what that is? Hey, Crystal. So there's a big white thing with the troopers. Sorry, guys. Let's see if I can get that. They're going to storm the Capitol. Amy, that's a very good question. That is the real question here. How come we never heard about them being against? I think they were actually, and I think it's been going on for a while. It just there wasn't the media attention back then. This summer they had quite a few media up at the protests up there and media members. So they were getting some attention there. Yeah, Amy, they were all up there. So now they're down here. I'm trying not to be too loud. So McSlappy Nuts on Twitch asked, why is this going on pipeline? It's a new oil pipeline from up north. I'm trying to remember if it's like a from Canada down south kind of thing. But it's a brand new one. It's going into or through native lands, which has been a point of real hot contention up there. So no problem. I'm trying. That's kind of what we're trying to do here, is at least talk about it. I'm not supposed to be out here. I'm here not necessarily to take a side, but to at least observe and report, and I want everybody to be able to get home, and we got to keep our eyes on everybody, hold people accountable. 106 at 11. Oh, Jesus Christ, guys. Okay, listen, I was a fat man. This heat shit just fucks me up. My parents live in San Diego now, and I think I'd rather be down there. How you been?
It's been forever since I've seen you.
Yeah, I've been not a lot of places for us to be.
You're fine.
You know?
I mean,
Not worried about this thing going on. So.
I took a break. I mean, I was forcibly put into a position to take a break after that peaceful march on the 16th.
Oops, hold on 2 seconds.
You're good.
Saw that. We'll...
She died standing for what was right at Lake of Gerard, and they allowed that to happen. Her blood is on their hands.
What's more disturbing? This image here, or the knowing that 6,000 of our children were killed in your schools by those last names you guys carry on those badges?
Shame!
It was the same regime that came to my Dakota people. So I know, I see these names of you guys, and I can feel the hate that you guys have. The same thing, as much as appalling it is for you guys to see this image here.
If I were a white male with the Trump flag, they would have allowed me to take this building.
Hey, we was
They would have let me
drive
in.
on this motherfucker, they ain't even arrested. Stop it. They let a white man drive on this motherfucker 2 weeks ago. They ain't
Has
do
he been
shit.
charged?
No, none of that shit.
Why aren't you looking for that
They ain't do none
man?
of that shit.
Why aren't you arresting those people? Because they sit in the church with you. Because they hide under the same hoods as you officers. Statistically, these men are going to go home and beat their wives.
See the anger.
Statistically,
This
these
is the
men will
anger
go
that-
and kill themselves. Those suicide rates for police are skyrocketing, and it is going on year after year. They cannot stand by themselves, they quit. They cannot stand in their own skin. They commit suicide. There are more options than killing people are being killed. Put your badges down. Put your arms down. You are far more likely to experience violence at your own hands than at the hands of the people you hold arms against.
The land that this building sits upon was stolen from the Dakota people and built upon the backs of black people. This is our fucking building. This is our land. We should not be coming to the police with our hands up, begging them not to shoot us down. We shouldn't be begging their respect. They work for us. They're supposed to protect us. And this is how they treat us. With their guns and their batons, their mace and their rubber bullets, and their water cannons and Standing Rock. And these same men travel across the world to kill black and brown bodies just like me. From Palestine to Standing Rock to the Ojibwe lands today, their occupation is genocide. And it never ends until we, the people, take the power back.
It must go.
They do not own us. I don't know if you guys do this, but you can't own people anymore. There's a whole fucking war about it. And you lost.
1866.
They smoke your sister, and talk your shit.
June 19th.
I stand with you.
The people united can never be defeated.
The people united can never be defeated.
The people united can never be defeated. The people united can never be defeated. The people united can never be defeated. The people united can never be defeated. The people united can never be defeated.
Lincoln Gerard. They built a community there. They built a garden. They built a family.
We're here to protect it.
There were black families with a vigil there, looking only to pray. And the police came in, removing those people by force and erecting barricades. They do not own this land. They do not have the right to stop us from holding communities. They do not have the right to stop us from prayer. We are coming for everything they took from our grandmothers, and we are all coming with each other.
We need reparations right now. Cut that check.
Reparations
right now.
We're here for justice. What are you here for? We're here to protect people. Are you protecting people right now?
Serve the community. What community are you serving?
We're upholding the law. We're upholding the treaty. What law are you upholding? That wasn't law when you arrested people. You're on someone's paycheck, but it's for the land.
Harming. I'm right here. What are we doing that's so wrong? You have to go with your guns and your batons. You put those badges on. You took over ceremony. That man right there is a direct descendant. A direct.
You guys seem nicer than them, to be honest.
I love you in the way that I want you to have.
This is totally just like, you just can't make this up. At the state capitol, I just wanted to bring awareness to what's going on. And
You want to be better? You want to be one of the good ones? You want to be the ones who don't just stand by, actually do it?
How red you're getting here, just
Quit your fucking job.
now,
Walk away. If they come in here to arrest everyone, hell, walk away anyway. You will be complicit if you stand by. Every fucking one of you.
look at his eyes. You can't make it up. He is trying hard not to pay attention. Look at his eyes. Look at his eyes. Look at his eyes. He don't want to make no contact.
You know what's right.
You just can't make this up. He do not want to be here. Look at his eyes. He don't want it. He don't want it. He don't want it. Your mom wanted better, didn't she? That part. Listen, speak. Speak.
Yeah, man.
Yes. Oh my goodness. She just graduated from the force. She is armed to the T. She has her cuffs and everything. What happened to the black guy? What happened to the black guy? They moved him expeditiously.
Yeah,
what happened to that black guy? Oh my goodness.
Everybody needs it. Your children need water. So how are you going to not care about water? Your children will benefit from yourself.
Can we all just get along?
You already lied. You're still here.
Well, they said that cop told me once the fire's up, it's out, then I can go.
It's not. They haven't obviously. She's speaking right now. Be respectful, let her speak. And
You can't tell. Don't talk to him like that.
Yeah, don't talk to him
Don't you tell us about. Don't you ever.
Talk to us about respect. Why wrecking?
Wreck what? You guys wrecked my ceremony. You guys wrecked what I was doing.
Hold tight. Hold tight.
You better check your ego, boy. 500 fucking
Fuckers speak about respect. Respect our own constitutional right to religious freedom.
We will be here.
You talk about respecting our elders, yet you let them.
Then we can walk over there. Fire is gone.
They said they'd leave once the fire was gone. They're still here. Still breaking promises. Still lying.
Just stay calm for just 10 minutes. That's from the grandmothers. All of these requests are coming from the grandmothers.
The cops said they were leaving once the sacred fire was gone, and they're still here.
They will be leaving, and we're negotiating that as Indigenous people and as Indigenous leadership. Okay? All right.
Well, they told me the same thing. Why are they still here?
We're working on that.
Does anyone have a portable charger for an iPhone by any chance?
Yeah, y'all can leave now.
We're doing it in phases. Okay, we're not all doing it right, but we're doing it all in phases. It's going to be a couple minutes, okay? A couple minutes.
So Auntie is saying that the police are going to leave and we're being asked by our side to let them leave peacefully so the ceremony can continue. So continue to be peaceful, please.
The people united can never be defeated.
People united never be defeated.
The people united will never be defeated.
Never.
Listen!
I do want to say, as we sit here on land that is Rondo neighborhood, the police come into Rondo neighborhood, the neighborhood that they gentrified.
Yes.
The longest standing black community in St. Paul. We sit here on the Capitol, right in the dead middle of it, and yet they still oppress us.
Yes.
They put 94 through it.
Yes.
They put the green light through it. They put that stadium through it.
Yes, speak.
And yet we still sit here. BIPOC solidarity.
That part.
They're hurting all of the BIPOC community.
Yes, they are.
Black and indigenous.
Yes, yes.
United. Never
All
be
with the truth.
defeated. The people
united will never be defeated. Listen.
People
united. Listen.
Never be defeated.
Listen. 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 Will never be defeated.
Thank you.
Law dog, law dog, law dog, law dog, law dog, law dog. All the trauma you had to go through. Yes.
They assault the officers, but I mean, we successfully negotiated terms to, you know, everyone's disbanding. So, as walks through hail, water protector, head security at the Red Lake Treaty Camp. I just wanted everyone to see this, you know. All I ever do is try to protect our people and protect our water. So we successfully, peacefully got everyone to go. Now we can continue ceremony in peace. That's all I've ever wanted to do. There they go. We had a lot of cops deep down here, you know. And they're also coming with water offering. They'll be here any minute to offer water, the head, you know, cop. So, and I thought that was cool that they're gonna come and offer water, you know. So, I hope we can continue to do things in the best way that we can.
And this is the power of prayer and the power of ceremony.
People to stay calm and quiet long enough for the ceremony to get going and not the cavalry going. Also, when the officers come out with their peace offering, because they wish for us to know how sorry they are for interrupting our federally protected ceremony, when they come through with the gifts that they have wanted to offer to the people, I do not want you yelling at them. They're carrying something special to give to the people. Just be patient with them.
Yeah, I know.
How's your day going? I'm okay. It's the power of...
Which is good news. The cops don't want to bring too much attention to them because there are so many eyes on this event right now between the protesters and there are press here. That they really have to keep their shit together. If this were a dark alley somewhere in the rest of St. Paul, this would not have gone this way. So I am happy that there hasn't been a lot of assault today. We do have a comrade who had a medical event. They are being checked out at a local hospital. They were tended to by our medics. They were not tended to by the cops. It took a comrade having to call 911 before they got medical care, I believe. And we have another comrade that was driven to either an urgent care or an ER by a fellow comrade because they had been pushed pretty hard by the police. Aside from that, we're still in ceremony. We've been told that we can hold ceremony as long as we want, as long as there are no structures here, because structures are not permitted after a permit runs out. So the structure that we had here for the ceremony to welcome the Firelight Walkers, that permit running out last night at 10 didn't give us the quote-unquote legal protection that we needed to be able to maintain their idea of a law-abiding ceremony, even though ceremony is protected under freedom of religion and the Native American Act. We would have been able to hold that lodge here regardless, because we are on treaty land under 1805 treaty per the Lakota that are here with us sharing ceremony. That gets a little confusing. People wonder why the Lakota are important. The Lakota were here in 1805 when that treaty was made, and that is what gave this ceremony credence in the eyes of the law, and how we were able to continue if we wanted to make this a treaty stand or if we wanted to make this a civil rights violation per the cops.
Thank you, Jake.
This is well, now that you're on this stuff.
Anyways, love and peace to all of you. Language.
I could just leave the phone here so you guys can see what's going on anyway.
People for standing in solidarity. I thank the people for just tuning in. And this is not even a rule of awakening, but this is something that we have expected to happen, because we know things like this happen on a day-to-day basis, and we just want to just uplift everybody in prayers.
Puta madre, Jake leaving. Hello, it's out here.
Hello.
I see you came prepared. You got your battery pack.
Oh no, I was borrowing it from somebody. I'm trying to find him. I was not prepared. We got the message that
Yes,
police were here.
yes. I see the dog was just sitting there like in your chest, like, I'm good all the way through the whole ordeal. Thank you all for holding space. I gave you my card yesterday, right? I think I have a picture of you and your husband.
Very violently assaulted by the Northern Lights Task Force. You know, these police are not our friends. They're not here to protect us. They're not here to keep us safe. And, you know, we stand in solidarity with all Indigenous people fighting racist resource colonial extraction all across the globe. And we stand firm, and Camp McGeezy stands firm in our solidarity with the Black Lives Matter and, you know, all families out there who are calling for the abolition of police. And we'll continue that work.
heading in here for now. I love all of you. We're gonna stay out here on the lawn. We're not leaving. Stop line 3.
For us, so I will see how that works out. Because I guess live streaming my family at the Renaissance Festival is probably not going to be fun. So people did leave. I wouldn't say a ton, probably 20%, but all the cops are gone. It is palpably less tense. Listen, if we're allowed to do some glass blowing, or if there's something fun that happens, maybe I'll do some quick lives from tomorrow. Some of you have met my daughter, Kira, my daughter with Down syndrome, and she's a blast in places like that. And I promise you, it might be a little bit of fun. So maybe we'll do some sporadic live stuff tomorrow. Alright, so some quick reminders for everybody. Hold on one second, let me back this up. Sorry, I know. If you're tripping balls, I apologize. Alright. So, we are about accountability here. And we're here about spreading the message that we want everybody to go home. So, we're not here to take a side, we're here to make sure that all people are held accountable for their actions. So, everything worked out. It seemed like an overreaction. I'm walking up on Capitol right here, so I'm going to make sure I keep facing me. Have a good day, man. Yeah, I won't be back tomorrow, but it's still going on Sunday. I got to go around Renfest with my family tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, for sure. State fair, too, everything.
Dude, there's so many things, and this is a thing, so I'm happy that...
Questions about our language, our food, our prayer, and she would get really nervous and say that, we're good, God-fearing Christian Americans. My grandfather was murdered for the land, for holding it for the people. After the U.S. kept trying to buy it, he kept saying no. And then the land titles went missing, and all that we were left with was enough for a trailer after having land. Future generations, their next generation, started showing up to our culture in amazing ways, and she was invited to a thank you dinner for surviving, and it was the first time in my life that she started talking about her culture. That was a few years ago, and a couple weeks ago I called her and she said, "Baby, I want you to know that you have my blessing." She said, "What you're doing is healing." I understand that you feel hate and you feel anger and rage, and that is entirely valid. But you need to hold your love in your heart. Remember what it is that has brought you to feeling so much pain and anger. And if you hold that love in your heart, you will be healing generational trauma. She said, anyone that is feeling those kind of horrible things and wondering, to remember that is part of you. And it wasn't part by choice, but the way you move with it makes all the difference. Move with love, and you will contribute to our generational healing. My name is Janie and I'm Plinkett. That's what I wanted to share.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. Thank you.
I did also want to share that when we say to them, quit their jobs, it's not something cheeky. It is an invitation to join humanity, because humanity will not be dragged down with this white supremacist violence behind badges. When we say quit your job, it is an invitation to join us in humanity.
Yes.
You said Janie?
Can you spell your name? Can you spell your name?
Janie. My name is Janie. I come from the Kanash family. My great-grandmother was a clan mother, and not even of our own clan. I believe it's the only time it's happened. Our generation was considered lost. There were so many people that had their culture forcefully taken from them, and if they didn't give it up, they had their children taken from them. So when their clan mother died, they didn't have someone else to take that up, and they actually reached out to another clan and they asked my great-grandmother to be their clan mother. And that was part of the generational healing as well. So I am Janie, I'm Tlingit, I'm from the Kanash family.
Your last name?
I'm trying to look up, they took one of the first things they took from us, we were a matrilineal tribe. So the husbands took the wives' names. They moved with the women. One of the first things they did was to make it clear that men are the ones to do this. So I am trying to reach back and find out what that would be. As far as I know, it is Kanash, and I am still learning. Not all of my family is with this. There's a lot of family that are still afraid. But my grandmother has given her blessing, and I am thankful. And she wanted everyone to know that she believes that what we are doing, if we are acting in love, is healing generational trauma, and she gave her thanks.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I read just briefly. So can you just give us the status of what you folks are going to plan on doing next?
I know she
are you
was the
leaving? Are
one
you
to
staying?
call
Are you going to
the
continue
press
the ceremony?
conference.
Have you made a decision?
I will stand with the matriarchs for as long as my presence is appreciated. I don't believe in pacifying and peace policing with the police. I believe that historically it has been proven time and again that it is a divisive tactic to silence our voices. I think if they truly cared about humanity, they would quit their jobs. They would join humanity. They don't need to be killing us, and they don't need to be killing themselves. They are having record rates of suicide, and it is horrible. They should join humanity before they get to any kind of point like that. When we say quit your jobs, it is an invitation to join us in our strength and our beauty and our humanity.
Thank you. Miigwech.
I'm lost in hell. I tried. Are you ready?
You ready? Okay.
Yep.
You introduce yourself.
I am Roy Walks Through Hell. I'm head Ogama, head security at the Red Lake Treaty Camp, and we successfully negotiated with law enforcement to handle this in the most peaceful way without desecrating our ceremony. It was desecrated to begin with. They wanted to tear down our lodge and arrest people, but we were able to finish this in a peaceful way. We did lose 2 water protectors, and we will pray for them and we will get them out. We're not going anywhere. This fight is not over, but my name is Walks Through Hell of the Red Lake Treaty Camp, and I've always been a negotiator and, you know, to de-escalate situations and work with everyone in the best way that I know how. And my job is to keep everyone safe. Our water protectors, our grandmothers, our grandfathers, spiritual items. That's all I've ever tried to do in the best way that I know how, representing the Red Lake Nation and the Red Lake Treaty Camp. And our sister right here is the one who was holding ground here, and she's going to continue to hold ground. So I want to pass it over to her to say a few things.
Boss 9, back some.
Bonjour, and does you guys name my name is Laura Dancing Bear. I am an Ojibwe woman. I am from Bad River. I'm an enrolled member of Bad River. I am also a water walker, a water protector, and a pipe carrier. And we held that ground today in prayer because it is our right as per our right as humans. We were born with that right to connect to spirits and the mother and creation as we choose. Plus, we got that Native American Freedom of Religion Act of 1976, which also backs it up. Now, a lot of people don't understand why there's a Native American Freedom of Religion Act. There had to be a special act for the Native American Freedom of Religion Act because our religion was not protected by the Constitution. Freedom of religion applied to everyone but us. We've never been equal. Until June 9th of this year, it was legal for non-tribal members to come on my lands and rape us, and they would not be prosecuted. June 9th of 2021, I'm an actual MMIW survivor. I've survived death. I'm a survivor of a horrendous, tragic murder-suicide where I was extensively poisoned. And up until June 9th, it was legal to rape me on my own res as long as you weren't from there. June 9th of this year. I don't have equal rights. When I go missing, no one notices. Somebody tries to kill me or does. Nobody notices. These people, they spend all this time out here watching us pray and trying to figure out what the problems are that they can't cause or whatever. But look at all that force that could have been used to go search for one of my murdered and missing Indigenous survivors.
Speak.
I mean, I'm an MMIW who survived. I'm a very rare voice. Most of my sisters can't even stand there and tell you what happened to them while we scream for their justice. We can't even help one that's here to witness everything that happened, to tell you we're witnesses what happened. How can we ever get justice for our dead and missing if we can't even get justice for the few that survived?
Can you tell us what the ceremony means and represents?
Well, there are many connections to our ceremonies. It's not, you know, there are certain ceremonies for certain things. This ceremony here is for us to call our ancestors and our chiefs and Mother Earth and the water spirits so that we can pray for the water. I'm going to make an official announcement that I've already posted on Facebook. And I've done this with the other head ladies of Occupy the Capitol blessing. I have entered fast and ceremony for 38 and 2. There was 38 and... Excuse me. Do you mind? Wait. I'm sorry. It's just, it's hard for me to speak loudly. So,
Talking about 38 and 2.
Yes, I am here for 38 and 2. And the 38 and 2 that I am here for is the 38 and 2 chiefs of the Lakota that were taken hostage by the state of Minnesota and hanged by Pinky. The very man who everybody else praises, hung my race. Freedom was for everyone but us, and it still is that way. So, we are here for 38 and 2. We have been guaranteed that our ceremony would be uninterrupted if I took the TP down, which I thought anyway, and if I made sure the fire got moved. I've done these 2 requirements. I've been assured that we would be safe passage for our ceremony. So I am now announcing and declaring we are in ceremony for 38 and 2 for the fallen chiefs, and will count the day by the chiefs' names. 38 and 2, or until Enbridge's permits are revoked. That is our negotiations that are on the table. And those are the only ones that will break me from my 38 and 2.
Is that 38 days? 38 days plus 2 days would be 40?
Also, can you ask...
I love the people. Yes, that is an extremely long time.
Yes.
That's why expending all this energy when I can't drink water, or eat food, and I'm taking medicines isn't okay. That's why I called you all here together. Usually I would just sit down and honor each of you one by one, because you are heroes. Your cameras save lives. I bet you save lives today, too.
Yes, yes.
You are really the heroes here. We need you to, like, swoop in and save the day. And usually I would sit with you and show my respect to you because I appreciate what you do so much. But I can't because I really need to get back in ceremony and I'm just so exhausted. So I wanted to give you all this time and space together.
Will you stay here for the full 38 days?
Excuse me?
Will you stay on this in the Capitol for the 38 and 2?
I'm in ceremony for 38 and 2.
For here. You will stay
38 and 2.
Can you say when the fire started and when you started at it, when the TV actually went out?
Well, the TVs, the other TVs that went up for an event that was it was an event that was supposed to be for awareness. That's different than ceremony.
Okay.
Once this TV was used in a ceremonial way, the event was over and ceremony had begun. I've been in ceremony since, well, sunset I went into fast. I was in ceremony even before that, but I really don't know what time because it's been, I'm in a fast. I'm weak, I'm tired, my mind hasn't gotten proper nutrients to function thoughts. That I have to
that I have to act like a diplomat to try to save the peace of the water protectors for safe passage. So, 38 and 2, yes. I will not be leaving for 38 and 2. I will be here praying over the water for 38
Yes.
Police officers guaranteed that we would not be bothered while we were in ceremony. I expect them to hold those wishes, those agreements. And if not, I've committed myself to the people. I have no choice. I have to do 38 and 2 at all costs, even if facing imminent arrest at any point.
Yes. Also,
just like today.
Also, I want to ask a quick question. During the ceremony and things of that nature, is it really disrespectful for them to have you guys to take down the tent and stop you guys fire? I mean, like, you know.
It is definitely a desecration and a violation. However, water protectors were starting to be captured. They sat outside. I weren't here last night. I wish you would have saw. At first, it was so beautiful I cried. But ever since then, I've been crying because my heart aches. That teepee was up.
Yes.
We were inside in prayer. All these protectors gathered outside in locked arms and slept with locked arms. Because we didn't know if they were coming in the middle of ceremony last night. Those torrential rains were freezing cold. I've been shouting out to the public to bring them clothes. Their socks are wet, their shoes are wet, their clothes are wet. They barely had any good food today. I see somebody brought some coffee. We love water and tobacco. But,
I was basically indicating, like, I know that's really disrespectful. That's basically like if you're going into a mosque and telling someone they got to stop praying and what have they.
So my understanding is that because of what has happened, and now that I've spoken to them and explained things a little bit better, my understanding is that there should soon be arriving a peace offering from the Capitol and the officers who were here today. I'm expecting a traditional peace offering that they gave me their word for. I will wait to see if it is sent, but yes, it is disrespectful. That's why I told them if they would please send us a traditional gift to show the people with good hearts they love the water. And I would make sure when I go into ceremony, I ask the monitor to help me pick up the mistakes that were here to make today, because not all mistakes can be picked up, but some can. We're human, and it's a learning experience.
Do they indicate if it's against the permit? Is that the issue of the fire?
Okay, the issue is right there. There is no permits provided for ceremony. Whoever put up this event with the tents and then put it into permits, that's a problem right there when they put up those tents. They do the horse racing the wrong way. That's why we had to go into ceremony and correct the door and fix all this. There is a difference between an event and ceremony. If you are filing for a permit, that is not ceremony.
Right.
That permit ended at 10 p.m. and we came in at the ceremony on that ground. Ceremony is different.
Were any of your people arrested?
Yes.
Do you know how many?
I am told that somewhere between two to three of our beautiful protectors have been arrested. I am rallying and asking the people and the public please to help with the following things. They love the water. They were protecting and holding our sacred space. We were within our rights. They put themselves at imminent risk to protect our sacreds. Please bail them out as quickly as possible. Please send dry clothes, not firewood.
That's where they, no, that's where they went, Ramsey County. Can you say your name also as well again?
Oh, I am Mimi Makoons.
Can you spell that?
N as in Nancy, I-I-M-I, Makoons. M-A-K-O-O-N-S. It means little dancing bear. And when you do refer to me as my name, please also mention that I am a protector of the sacred and a founder of the Murdered and Missing Indigenous Survivors.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have any more questions before I return in?
How long was the ceremony planned for? Weeks in advance, or was it?
When the Montague say. When the spirits tell us.
That's right.
We live in ceremony every day traditionally that was taken from most of us. I still live my life that way. In that I am a rare seed. I've been out in the woods living in wigwams and living on line 5 those old school ways. I am a little different. I haven't been touched by
some of the things in this world as much as others.
And just briefly, tomorrow there's another event planned here. I assume there's going to be a lot of folks.
Let me go ahead and reiterate again. We are not an event.
No, I know. So I just was wondering if you're planning on staying.
Thank you everyone for tuning in for Listen Media USA. Thank you for listening to what we have to say. Here's what's happening in your neck of the hood.
There was only 4 cops. I thought for a second
This is totally something, I mean, history in the making. History in the making, once again. Thank you everyone for tuning in to Listen Media. Thank you everyone for tuning in to Listen Media USA. Thank you for listening to what we have to say. Here's what's happening in your neck of the hood.
Yeah, I was standing there.
I was standing right there. I got all of it on live. I'm hoping that we'll be able to retrieve all of it. I was standing like right there.
Yeah, I got it.
But I have never seen such a funny
Yeah, they just ran. Yeah, that was epic. Yeah, I was standing right there. I saw. I haven't recorded anything.
Thank you everyone for tuning in to Listen Media USA. Thank you for listening to what we have to say. Here's what's happening in your neck of the hood. I just want to say solidarity and respect. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and you just can't make this up. Here's what's happening in your neck of the hood. Life may not be perfect, nor may it always be good, but I will keep you posted on what's happening in your neck of the wood. I don't want to be the first one to tell the story, but when I tell it, I want to make sure that I'm correct. King Demetrius Pendleton, independent urban national journalist, photographer. Well, everybody, this is Life on Life Terms. Law Dog has left the area, and this is what's going on. Thank you everyone for tuning in to Listen Media USA. Thank you for listening to what we have to say. Here's what's happening in your neck of the hood.
Want some chicken or fries? Jams?
Because I got to go show up. I was right, let's go. We stopped the next day. And then I got to really get this time. Stop the gym early. Our women oftentimes determine when we went to battle. They told us it wasn't a good time to go to battle. It was. And this guy jumped around as a happy and invincible. You guys going on crazy.
He's so amazing. He won't stay the house out. Always on
hit that shot of him.
always.
I didn't even know block the shot. Block that shot. Yeah, I didn't even see that. Somebody see that. Rich goes, I didn't see it either. Go watch this guy all around. I was like, so it's a shot. Get ready to go, and I started jumping already. But I didn't know that. I missed that last play.
Wait, he'll catch on, then he'll want to be more. We already told her.
Right by the activists.
and it's a sense of community. And for many of us, especially in the UK right now, maybe we grew up with quite conservative families, not the party, but the ideology of, like, you know, every family for itself. But when you learn that we're a social species and we're a communal species, it's key for our growth as individuals. So it's important to rewild, but we need to rewild ourselves. And being in communal spaces like this, very important and integral. So that's what I feel. So yeah, if you come along to the process.
Let's do it. British Collective. Thank you so much. If anyone wants to find out more about what you've spoken about today, is there any good websites or sites that they can do to get clued up as you are?
Yeah, so I'm really fortunate at the moment to be involved with HS2 Rebellion, who are here at the protest. If you want to learn more about HS2 and what that means, I was also really fortunate to be part of a documentary called Lost Along the Line, where it's a wildlife documentary about HS2 and what that means for our wildlife protection, and that's just lostalongtheline.com. There's also hs2rebellion.com. But yeah, there's an impact campaign with Lost Along the Line, so a bit of a yeah, that's a documentary that's free to watch online on lostalongtheline.com.
And it's amazing that we have so many resources to access all of this stuff that gives us proper information.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. That's not a plug. That's not a shameless plug at all. That's a plug we need.
Film's important. Trying to make new impact films and wildlife films. That's something I'm very passionate about as well. Get involved, come along to the protest, or just get out into some nature. That's another great thing that you can do. Thanks for chatting to me, and come along to the rebellion. Learn something. It's a lovely place.
Where did you say you're from originally?
I live in Bristol, but you can probably tell from my Essex accent. I don't know if I sound like Essex, I grew up in Essex.
Which is a very great just outside London, isn't it? So you learn to value it a lot more when you've got the comparison. Anyway, right. So nice to speak to you. I'll let you get on. I've held your time for enough. Thank you, you too. How lovely was he? He was so lovely. So welcome back to the rebellion. The Impossible Rebellion is what you're tuning into now. We're about to go and speak to an Olympian. Now I've got somebody in my ear who told me exactly who this is. That would be wonderful. And I'm going to try and find him. Oh, looks like someone.
And women beat up down here. Don't pretend. Have your ears covered. I'm trying to warn you what's going to happen. No one's safe from the violence. No one. You don't believe in that? You don't believe the violence is going to affect your door? Okay, you're good. Okay, no, you're not. I'm telling you not. You're not good. I'm telling you not good. That goes to show the privilege of living in lifestyles of the safety net to having nice neighborhoods. You don't understand what's about to happen. And I'm trying to come down here every week and say that J.B. Pritzker has failed to declare a state of emergency. And that's what this violence in this city is resulting of. Violence that destroys everybody. You just seen a fallen officer murdered. 1,000 officers did a recession tribute to this officer. I'm trying to tell you what's going to happen. There's going to be more havoc of this violence in this city. And J.B. Pritzker is pretending it's going to take care of itself. Do you think you're immune to dodge the bullets of this terrorist, of these people that shoot people? Are you that naive to believe that the violence can knock at your door? I got a prime example right here. This man was murdered. these children were meant. If you don't get right and get your head out between your legs and wake up and smell the coffee, you will be sadly mistaken. Every weekend is violence. And J.B. Person says, I care less to call a state of emergency. And that means he don't care about us.
Instructors trying to get attention on racial and climate justice. Those two things need to be talked about, especially in light of the total financial contribution we're making to the worsening of these things. So now I've got an Olympian here, which is really exciting. Hello. Hello, I'm so pleased you're here. Thank you so much for talking to me.
It's my pleasure.
So would you be able to tell me your Olympic title, please?
Yes, so I'm Olympic champion London 2012 Olympics.
2012 Olympics.
Yeah,
amazing.
in whitewater slalom.
Oh, amazing. And your name's Etienne, is that right?
Yeah, Etienne
Fantastic.
Scott, yeah.
I'm Alice. Nice to meet you. Etienne, could you tell me what's brought you here?
Well, today specifically we had this really, it's really good to highlight how the City of London is financing fossil fuels to this. I think it's a tune of 15% of the global fossil fuel fund that comes through here. So I think not many people realise that. I've heard so much doing my outreach this week, we only do 1% and all that. And it's like, actually, we've got these massive, levers that we can pull, or we can ask our government to pull, we can demand our government to pull. And it was really cool as well, just going all the way, there was quite a lot of speeches learning about the different, what different companies are doing and stuff. So, yeah, it was really cool. And, epic outreach today as well. Speak to loads of people, handing stickers out and then, having chats with people. It was really cool.
Yeah. And to touch on what you're talking about a bit more specifically there, I know I've only just really joined, so I'm catching up with what's happening. But I know earlier there was a bit of a bloodbath outside JP Morgan over there.
Yeah.
We're now outside Mansion House Station, so come and join if you're watching. We also, there was a few different facts we started at the World Bank. And when we talk about how involved these places and people are, and they are really people at the end of it, it's not just a building doing it for them. Six of the world's biggest investment companies have been linked to £18 billion worth of devastation, specifically linked to destruction in the Amazon.
Yeah.
We've been hearing a lot today about more than 100 billion finance towards HS2.
Yeah.
This really is something we need to look at as being something close to home, not just something that is a far distant thing that we have no blame for.
Yeah.
When I say we, it's not really you and I necessarily. I'm not drilling holes in the ground, but I'm definitely using some of the resources that perhaps,
Well, that's the thing, that's the way they tried to silence us by saying, you're wearing clothes made of oil or whatever it is. But actually, we're all complicit to a certain amount. And even, us in the global north here, we do have a bigger contribution. We've got to accept that. But that should not stop us from saying, actually, I care about my future, I care about our future, all beings on this planet, and we've got to do this. We can't be silenced just because we have some sort of footprint. And I think it's really, really interesting and powerful once people start to realise that. And also once they realise, the impact all around the world, it's really important. And I think that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to just explain, the reality here is quite hidden from a lot of people, I think.
Now, people seeing you as an Olympian here, you obviously have a lot of influence. And people are going to see you here and be like,
I'm sure they do, they just see me there all fucking around.
Yeah, you got to. No, but obviously you have a lot of influence, more so than probably the average person. A lot of those people are lying on the ground there and won't be able to have as big of a voice, despite being arrested, things like that, as you do. And with that voice, I wonder if you can tell us what is the most shocking thing that you've heard that got you standing here today?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think the first one I've just got to explain, I believe everyone has an influence, And, we all have people who respect us, you know, some people want perhaps fewer than they need, you know, but I certainly, as a, you know, I'm a minor public figure, I don't mind admitting this, you know, but people do remember the games, they do remember me sometimes, and, you know, that's amazing, and that gives me a position. I think it's a privilege to be where I am, and a privilege gives me some power, and, you know, with power comes responsibility, and therefore I feel like it's my responsibility to speak out on something that is, you know, logically sensible. You know, it's like, I feel it's, you know, sensible, normal people should be seeing actually like, it's just not going to be like what they think is going to be. Their future isn't going to work out like that unless we get out and we take, you know, we make this stand. We have to, otherwise things are going to go wrong. And I think, like, frankly, it's just not sensible for me to be anywhere else apart from here right now. It makes sense to me, and I try to explain why to other people. And yeah, because I'm an Olympic champion, because I've got a medal, perhaps people will be like, oh, you know, that guy's, you know, maybe we can trust him, and I hope they do, because, you know, I've become a good person, a responsible person, and this is the right thing to be doing.
To what extent are you comfortable with knowing that you, me, and people standing here are benefiting off of the people, off of the climate crisis?
Well, no, come on, explain that question to me again, sorry.
To what extent are you comfortable with knowing that you and I, or that you as a British person, are part of a country that is hugely responsible for the climate crisis and racial injustice, as well as climate injustice?
Well, I think that's the thing. It's really important that we kind of learn about this, you know. And for me, it's been quite a journey. You know, I just started off being interested in like saving the forests and the planet, you know, the carbon dioxide. But then you start to dig deeper and the systemic issues behind it. Then you start to learn about, you know, colonialism and extractivism. Then you see how this impacts on, you know, society, you know, on the global south. It is racialized, you know, and it is to do with oppression and systems of like dividing and conquering people, taking what is not ours. And this is like, it's eye-opening, you know, and I think it's quite challenging. But once you start and you just ask a little more questions, you start to think, actually, you know, you've got to kind of go there. To me, it's been shocking, but then also, you know, once you start to see it, you see it everywhere, you realise, yeah, perhaps that's the way this, you know, perhaps this needs to change, it's wrong, right? But perhaps I should get involved, and then you start to understand, like, what could I do? And then you go to non-violent direct training, and the spell is brought on the police officers here. We know our rights, you know, we know the consequences of our actions. Most people are just like worried and would leave straight away. We understand, we're educated and have been, you know, been kind of taught and empowered really to be able to stand here, and I think that's what's changed. You know, for me, when I did my non-violent direct action training, I was like, actually, I think I can do this now, and I reckon, you know, this is right for me now. So, yeah, I recommend that to everybody, because once that's happened, you've got to start to piece things together, and then you can actually, you know, act upon it.
Now, if we move more towards him, because I think otherwise if he moves too far away, then we're not going to be able to heard. But I have two more questions I wanted to ask, really. The first question is, while this arrest is going on, is one, obviously, I'm right now speaking. If you can't see him, I'm speaking the dream to compete, and you were able. The audio is breaking up, so I'm just trying to get a little bit closer to. So there's another person just been dragged away there, and I'm speaking to Etienne, who is an Olympian. And I was just going to ask the question, as an Olympian, you were able to follow your dream.
Yeah.
You were able to make a plan, this is a sport I love, this is what I'm going to compete in, and you succeeded in that sport. How does it make you feel knowing that so many other people who might have the same passions and dreams as you unfortunately are not in a position that they're able to do that because of the climate crisis? Yeah,
I mean, that's the thing, I suppose, you know, having done what I did with my life, having had the chance to, you know, and it is, you know, so many privileges, so many things happened to me, you know, I had the privilege of meeting so many cool people and being supported on this journey. One thing that makes me sad is, first of all, we know you just have to look on TV, you just have to open your eyes in this country. You can see so many people don't have those opportunities, which is again why I feel it's important to use what I've earned and what has been given to me on the back of those opportunities to good use. But then you start to look around the world and you just see, look, there's no way someone from some parts of this place would ever get to even have the headspace to think about going to Olympics or track practicing and all of those things like that.
If you're worried about where you're going to get your next meal, or worried about a tornado incoming or a landslide, then it's hard to have that headspace.
And then the next thing for me is to start to think about the young, so even in this country, some of the young people who I'm working with as an athlete, as a coach. I train some people, and I also just see in my community these young people. They've got their dreams, and they're thinking, oh, I'm going to go to Olympics, I'm going to do this and that in my life, and I feel awful because I don't actually think that's going to be like that for them. So I have a really strong connection in my mind for people. You're covered too.
Yeah. So we're not really sure what happened. There's someone lying on the ground. So now we're being told to sit down to try and de-escalate the violence. I think I'm not really, if I'm honest, oh God, over here as well. We've got police pushing protesters now. Does not look good. It's hard to know where to put the camera at this point. I'm going to use mine at the same time. Hopefully you can still hear me. This is a non-violent movement, just to be very clear. We're not violent, how about you? That's what's being said. We're not violent, how about you? This is where the great existence of mobile phones really needs to be reiterated, because these sorts of situations get caught on camera. Each one of these police officers that you can see in front of me here, they all got police cameras on them as well. I think most of them are not actually turned on. But there are cameras all the way around us, taking videos, pictures of these people. This is really importantly a non-violent action. This is a non-violent community. This is not... not really sure what's happening here. Okay. Gosh, that was not great, was it? It looks like it's...
I was just waving a flag, but I understand, I'm not interested in antagonising them.
No, absolutely not.
I think it's really important, because I'm also, something I've thought about recently, if we're antagonising the police, then sometimes they will actually, lash out at people, amongst us more viciously and, out of, perhaps, anger. And so I think it's really, that's what I think is good about XR, is that we're really carefully managing how we're dealing with the police, de-escalating, trying to calm things down so things are controlled. But as we see, sometimes the police aren't always like that, and sometimes we have to be very, very careful that we don't get drawn into something. So
yeah, they have a lot to be accountable for, the police, but they're just humans at the end of the day, and that's not who this fight is necessarily directly with.
Oh, absolutely. I think one of the great things about Extinction Rebellion, as our discipline, so many people here understand the way we've got to the way that's will be effective, the way that things will work best for us, and the people who are bravely putting themselves into a position of high risk of arrest there. And so I think once you understand, once we're learning about that, we sort of think to ourselves, actually we've got to work thinking together cleverly and supporting each other to behave in a way that's productive towards our goals.
Absolutely, and that's the only thing that has or ever will make big change, I think.
Well, yeah, and I say that to loads of people out here today, they're like, oh, well, I agree with your cause, but not the way you do it. And I'm like, first of all, I say, well, if you've got any good ideas, send them on a postcard, we'll have a think about them. And secondly, I say, look, these methods have worked in the past, for so many different movements. We're building on them, we're pushing them, but we have to be non-violent, because that's the way that we are more successful or have the greatest potential. I said, I can't guarantee that we'll be successful, but I may as well try, and that's why I learned as an athlete, you definitely know you're not going to be winning if you don't get in and get training, and this is exactly that, you just sit in the armchair, we ain't going anywhere, and we've got to get out there, we've got to get involved, we've got to practice, we've got to learn, we've got to get trained, we've got to bring together our teams, our community, and then we've got to get out and we've got to take peaceful direct action. Simple as that for me.
You know what, that's a great bit to end on, I think. Thanks so much, Etienne. If you need motivation, then why not take it from an Olympian? I feel like that's a pretty motivating speech if there ever was any. Thank you so much. Thank you. We're just going to wrap up now. Thank you. You can see, if you're not sure what that stick was that he was waving around, it has a big XR flag at the top of it. Now, I believe we're wrapping up now, but if you are in the area, if you are in London, please, please, please come and join the rebellion. We are right now outside Mansion House Station. Today's rebellion that you're seeing right now is the City of London, built on blood money. That's what we're trying to get attention on today, demanding the climate and racism that is happening right now. So, if you're joining us, please come down to where we are in London. If you come down events in London, not in London, wherever you are, whether that's along the HS2 line or elsewhere, it doesn't have to be part of Extinction Rebellion. It can be Greenpeace, it can be it could be Guardians of the Forest, it could be Amazon Watch. There's so many people doing incredible things around the world. It's important to know that. If you're at home and you can't leave your house, that's absolutely fine. Absolutely clear that there is a space for that, but there's remote rebels. Have a look online for that, and there's a lot that you can do. As I said, we're now going to leave you from here in London. This is a movement for everyone. The climate crisis does not be selective. This is not divisive, and it shouldn't divide us. We should be coming together to tackle this as a community and let our people in power know that the impetus is here from people who live here and who don't live here and who are acting as a community to make change happen. We need to bring them into the conversation and ask them to bring us in too. So thank you so much for talking with us today. If you have something to say, as I said, Etienne mentioned when his friends asked him why he's part of Extinction Rebellion, he said, well, if you have another idea, please let me know. So if you have any ideas watching this, please put them in the comments. Let us know if you have any ideas that you think will make a big difference. Is there anything that we're missing? Is there anything that you're involved in that really gives you hope, that you think is really making a change? That would be amazing to be able to share with everyone. But for now, that's it from me. I'm Alice. I'm here in London, outside Mansion House, with brave rebels up on the structures behind us, about to be arrested and taken down. But right now, they're holding strong. So if you want to see what's happening, please keep a look on online or come here in person and enjoy the rebellion. Thank you.
To watch kids play football. That's always we could get into the down fans and say
finally goes, hey, well, I'll go. I got to get something. My dad is up there.
So good. They have
Then they
this
call
in
him
there.
completely out. We're seeing lots of all this.
Cherry lime drink, and they crush real ice and the cherry juice in there. It makes the mouth water.
So he texted me yesterday. He goes, hey, I got a game tomorrow. Come on. I'm like, yeah, I want to be there.
Oh, cool. Spicy candy? Really? Like what?
Dave.
I didn't get that. It's pretty good?
Pretty good. Sit down around here.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. So you got the taste for the spice.
So you're going to do the folks song? Or you're going to do the folks song? Or retire? Got it. Wow.
You know, they just realized all of our stories on Facebook
I like can't hear it because of the wind.
And we were playing done.
It's been going on for a while. 38 minutes.
Just go up, you walk towards the mat and take a left.
That's when you're doing good. Kids in there, you know.
Yeah. You go through those security
Some
doors
just kind
and
of
take
take
a left.
it. Bob, it's Austin's. Their whole family shows up to watch those two Austin's. Like, man, I'm going to take a 10 of police to this year. I'm not going to take ours.
I know no parents are ever happy, though.
Stay with them like that. And they found out Kato was you're the hidden secret, no one knows you when you get
I
we knew that. Yeah, I see it on all over Facebook. They found out Kato when everybody oh man, Obama's just somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's related to everybody. Practically.
6 out of 10.
Yeah.
So who broke into your dad's house?
Sherry. Yeah, Sherry came got that asshole, so I gave it to her. But half that stuff he took is mine. I didn't. There's some stuff I didn't put on here. I don't know. She denied it at first. She was gone watching it. I didn't even know until 9:30 at night when I first put it on there. I was curious. I knew it was. I kind of thought it was her.
I think that's the thing too. Is like,
I don't know. It's like, it's like, where is mine?
the way we always.
I finally actually followed that.
And that's the thing. It's like, you know, that's how I feel.
They had to travel with them on. It's kept them all the time.
Filmmaker, but also knowing
I don't know. I think if you would ask those CDs, I probably would give it to you. They open up the house. You guys take a picture. Both of them are fighting over everything. Wait, guys, did anything done for me? I was asking to sleep something like that, man.
Yeah.
Go up there. So I went up that night. What I was going to do is I turned the air conditioner on and watched the game. Cowboy Steelers, time to watch the game. So then I'm going to go up to the guys watch the game. That's what we're supposed to do. Go up to the grave. Supposed to be gone. So we're at it full and I can see everything right away, you know, because I go up there every day.
I can't stand there and be like,
I didn't see no wrecks there when I was there with them. I was standing around last night. I was standing around. I made it nice.
this can't be cooked. Nowadays.
Yeah, but I just gave up. I told Nick that.
Oh my gosh, you're kidding me.
Dad left it in my name. Thank God I called him 6 years over. First time I drove it.
Everything's secure. Probably saw all kinds of memories coming back up.
I had a hard time cleaning up the back seat. I never touched it. Then his green truck, I told him, I said, I'm going to go as far as to get my everyone. I went to green truck, all that. So everyone you guys left to me, you guys put everything. I put in that last one.
That's how I was with my dad too. So I'm not going to fight with anybody. I I didn't take nothing except for his picture, his military picture. Was the only thing that I took. The one thing we always talk about is that
That's why I was
picture
the stuff you're getting at.
that you guys use, like for the reward and things.
That's because we're
And it's all, we always
Second
laugh
half, though,
about
it's
it
like, wow.
because we were like,
But
what
you
do
guys
you
can
think
have
she
the
would say?
Well, Lon was good.
Because she hated that photo. She was like, he occupies my forehead with
Then I was getting bitter and I
She
put
had a
I
big
called him out.
forehead. Yeah.
But,
Sometimes you have to, you know.
And it stopped, you know.
Uh-huh.
But,
I didn't choose that picture.
Good, have you? Good. J-Rock.
So I was like, what would she say if she seen that was all over?
Yeah, so that's where I'm at. As long as we get the green truck up and happy.
Wow.
We rebuilt just about everything together.
There's like not very many.
So I want that green truck.
Like she was pictures on her pictures.
Don't worry, man. Doing everything out, so.
The ones I like of her, like she's really young.
Winter,
She's on,
where I'm like, eye surgery is not
she's on quarantine.
And she always puts something over her face.
Yeah.
Like those sticker things from Snapchat.
What's that?
Oh yeah.
Second, double vaccinated.
I know, vaccinated and everything.
No, it's just so sad having your whole family problem.
Yeah, they were doing stuff the other day and they were shooting around outside. I was talking to my doctor, hey, knock it out. I was like, I don't want to get in there. I put it on her head. Trunk and I come back to my pickup. I was standing there. Go ahead. I was like, nope.
I need to. Yeah, good to see you too. Have a nice day. Yep. They do a lot of vitamins and stuff, so I see her put on her vitamin D drinking stuff. So that must really help.
That's good.
Like what feels? Yeah, they must do a lot of that. I don't even do anything of that. That's like a mom kind of like scared.
Vitamin D, I guess, is the big one.
Is it?
Especially if you're tired. You're out in the sun for a couple hours a day, it's hard to absorb it.
I got anxiety vitamin C, vitamin C. That's my vitamin.
Oh yeah. Getting me scared. I might have to start buying some. You could probably find some online. Yeah.
That's like, last time I had almost died. I go through the hospital. That's went through it. I drove by Billingstone like that.
Like Ryan Limberhand told the family to come up. He survived it. Miracle happened.
That's the first thing I got. The guy right now, we're still learning about it. Alright, well, it is what it is, you know. Yeah, they said it's approved by Sunday to put it down there like way, man. Lodge guys are actually do that target getting it before it died.
I took her at the last one when she came.
They said, because of full of COVID, Sunday, and all of them going in, so they put the mask on and put it out.